Peace and wellness, everyone. My name is Rachel Newsom. I'm super duper excited to host the day 2 of the Wellness Takeover hosted by Legacy Holistic Health Institute. I'm excited to share just some jewels that I have developed, things that I've collected along my journey. I'm excited to share that content with you all. So when you jump on, please let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me so we can go ahead and get right into it. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Geneva. Thank you guys for joining. Yes, yes, yes. I'm super excited, y'all. Today is day 2. Yesterday, Dr. Kudger left us with some really awesome gems, just some jewels to take with us as we move through our wellness journey. I'm excited about that content. I'm excited about everything that's happening in the month of February. So once you get on, let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. And we'll get this thing started. We'll definitely get it started. Hey, Siobhan. Hey, hey, hey. All right, all right. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me, okay? All right, all right. I'm excited, y'all. I'm super duper excited. Hopefully tonight's content will be just as beneficial. You walk away with something that is very useful, and just learning a new way to be massively intentional about the decisions that you make regarding your life. All right, Jerry says she can hear me loud and clear. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so a few housekeeping rules, right? Once you come in, make sure that you share the content out. Make sure you share the video out. One, it increases your chances of winning the prizes at the end of the month. And two, you are sharing this content out for somebody who could really use it. If you're already on your journey of wellness, when you share this video out or any other content in the group, once you share that out, you're inviting people to step forward, to be bold, and taking action with their health and wellness. So, let's share. Sharing is caring, right? So make sure you share it out. And definitely talk to me. I love when people talk in the comments. I love to have a conversation. I don't want to be a talking head, just like blah, 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 blah. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that the conversation it has a really good ebb and flow. And the only way for that to happen is if you talk back to me. So definitely talk back to me. Drop some comments in that comment section as well, okay? So that's housekeeping rule 1. Make sure you share it out. 2, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Drop it in the comment. Do hashtags, you know what I mean? Like, just highlight, share in the comments, whatever it is that you feel that you want to share that is in alignment with what this content would be about. So tonight, we are actually talking about, in particular, my journey to and through Legacy Holistic Health Institute. However, the twist to it is, I also want you to understand how to take massive actions, massive intentional actions to basically secure your wellness legacy. Like, that's what it's really about. That's what this tribe is about. That's the wave of the world right now, is people are really waking up to learning how to be in control of their health and wellness, and doing it from a perspective of, it's not just about you. It's not just you getting well. It's your whole tribe. It's the people that's connected to you. And we want to make sure that the information that you received or the information that you share is in alignment with building up other people's holistic, their wellness legacy as well. So it's not just about you. Always remember, your gifts are not for you. Your gifts are for the world. Whatever gifts and talents you came to this world with, it's not for you to use selfishly. It's for you to be a blessing and a lesson for someone else. Okay. So our first topic is overcoming self-doubt. Now, I'll tell you guys a quick story. Back in 2018, I was well on my way. My business was doing pretty good. I was feeling pretty confident about the things that I had going on. And I went to an event. And I met some really phenomenal people. I met health coaches, other really great business-minded people. They were doing really well in their business as well. But in particular, a health coach that I came across, and it was something about this individual's presence that was just so captivating, so capturing. And I'm like, yes, I got to know this person, and I got to find out how to work with them. And so, we sat through their presentation, and at the end of it, talking to the individual, and the conversation kind of took a weird turn. It was like, so where did you get credentialed? Well, where did you get your information? Da, 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 da. And at that point, I'm looking at it at, I was basically self-taught going on what my experience has been because, back, well, not, but back in 2000, or well, back when I was like 19 or 20, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Didn't know what that was, didn't know what it meant. I'm like, how do I manage or how do I cure it right now, right? And so over the years, I didn't realize how much of a toll being in the military, the different inoculations that I had to get to stay up to code, basically health wise with the military and things like that, to be able to travel throughout the world. I didn't realize that all of these chemicals that I'm mixing into my body, what it was further damaging as far as my reproductive organs go. So I'm thinking to myself, like years later, I'm starting to put two and two together, and I'm trying to figure out a way to heal myself. So I started looking up different natural gurus, like holistic health gurus, like who can do this naturally. Because by this time, back like in 2000 and I don't know, 12 or something like that, my doctor started considering telling me to consider like birth control or surgery and things like that. And I definitely did not want to do anything like that. And so fast forward, I started finding natural ways to do it, natural ways to heal myself. I started looking up Dr. Sabi. I started looking up Queen Afua. I was looking at Dr. Laila Africa. I needed to find a health perspective, a natural health perspective that, first of all, the person presenting the information looked like me. And second of all, it was something natural that didn't involve me further traumatizing my body. So all of the things, I took bits and pieces from all of these different people, and I put together my own little wellness remedy to heal myself. And when I went back to the doctors, my doctor was a little annoyed at the conversation of going the natural route, because honestly, let's be clear about it, they didn't really know. They didn't really understand. That's not a part of their curriculum, really. It's a very small part of the curriculum. So to find out that your patient is going the natural or holistic route, my doctor became a little annoyed with that. And so that kind of sparked something in my mind to say, you know what, if she becomes annoyed about it, but it's actually working, because the same things that they diagnosed you with years and years ago, they're finding little and little and little to no, residue of these things, then you're doing something right. So because this confirmation between me and my doctor, like that was a confirmation to me that I was doing something right. And so I started sharing what I knew. I started sharing to the world what I knew via social media, in person. Anybody who would listen to me, I would talk to them about, natural remedies, holistic diet, all of these different holistic gurus that I had found. So when I got to this event, and to talk to this health coach, and she challenged me, and I don't think she did it intentionally, but it struck a nerve in me that was like, I'm sharing from my perspective how I healed myself, and you're questioning where I got credentials from, what school I went to. Why does that matter? If the information is usable, if the information actually produce results that anybody could use and achieve some type of wellness results, why does it matter what paper I have to say, oh, I'm credentialed, I can talk about it? I'm talking from experience. So after having that little encounter, I started to doubt myself, and I have no idea why I started to doubt myself. I'm thinking like, will people not listen to me if I don't have some letters behind my name? Like, I don't really want to pay for a program that's going to tell me the same thing I already know just so I can get letters behind my name and some piece of paper. Like, all of these different things started playing out through my mind, and I started going into this space of self-doubt. I started doubting my abilities and my knowledge. Even though I knew what I knew, I experienced what I knew, and so did other people, because these gurus been around for decades. I wasn't the first to use their modalities. And so I started to go through this self-doubt, self-defeating type of mentality. I'm like, okay, get it together. And plus I got a business to run, so I can't really I can't just fall off. I can't just do that. So I talked to a couple different people, and someone mentioned to me that it may be a good idea because most people won't listen to you. Like, we all have had that experience where you give somebody asks you for advice, you give them advice and they don't use it. Then you looking like, well, why did you ask me if you wasn't gonna use it? Why talk to me if you're not gonna use what I told you? Some people just like to learn the hard way, and some people, they really want to know, but they really don't know how to put it into action, right? So somebody said, well, technically speaking, most people won't listen to you if you don't have something that is backing this information. I said, the people I learned it from is backing the information. You can go and do your own research. And I always tell people, you ain't got to listen to what I'm saying. Go and do your own research. Here's the information. Go do your own research, right? So I got to thinking about that conversation, and I felt like that person was kind of, egging me on to do something I really didn't want to do, because at that moment it was like, I'm not about to pay somebody to tell me what I already know. Like, that's ridiculous. So after a while, I'm like, you know what? If this is legit the only way that I could really show up bold and confident in my business and in my community to say, hey, going the natural route or learning or relearning of natural ways and natural modalities to heal yourself is a real option. If the only way to really do that is to go and get, certified, I'm like, okay, cool. So I started searching around the internet for stuff like, we always do that, go to Google first, right? So I go to Google to figure out, like, where can I go? What can I do? And oddly enough, I came across, after searching on Google and giving up for a bit, I'm on Facebook and I come across Angela's video. It was a live video. And so she's talking about health and wellness, and I'm looking like, oh, this woman is really into health and wellness. Like, she's really out here doing it. So I started to follow her posts even more, right? And then one day there was a post for legacy. And I'm like, this is some spooky stuff. This is spooky. Like, why would this pop up? The man is watching. No, but it popped up and I'm like, well, what the heck? What harm could it do to at least sign up for more information? Unbeknownst to me, that was one of those shifts in my life that required me to take massive intentional actions. Period, point blank. Even though I selfishly went seeking these credentials so that people would listen to me, it turned out that I really, really needed what was about to happen to me. I really needed the shift that was about to happen to me. So I signed up, right? I signed up and I'm like, okay, we'll see. And I get a call back that, they were very strategic and intentional. Again, there's that I word. They were very strategic and intentional of who they were accepting into the school. And so that kind of struck me as odd, because most schools, they like, for the most part, they really want to get the money and fill the slots and, say they taught a whole bunch of people and that's what it is. But for some strange reason, the fact that there was a criteria for how you can actually get into the school, I'm like, okay, I got all of these. This is something to it. I don't know why it stuck in my mind, but it was something to the fact of this school saying that you had to be at a certain caliber for yourself, not for them, but for yourself. They were looking at how ambitious you were, how serious you took your own education to see if you were a good fit for the school. So after a while, I decided to go ahead and do it and join Legacy Holistic Health Institute. And it was scary and exciting all in the same moment. Like, I was scared to say, oh, I'm about to commit to this thing for the next year. You said it's a year? I'm about to commit to this thing for a whole year. And I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, but we'll see. That's how I took it. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do it because for some strange reason, I'm being led to go ahead and just do it. So I did it. And the content, it seemed like every module, and if you are on here and you are a part of Legacy, if you were ever in any cohort, every module seems to build upon the next and the next and the next. And every time you feel like I got everything, I got everything I need, I'm just missing one little piece, that next module hit you like, oh, here was a piece. And so it was really and truly divine. I know we use that word a lot in this group, and I know we really turn to a lot of metaphysical meanings and descriptions of things, but if you really understand how energy works, and if you really understand how everything really is within your power to manifest, it becomes like, it's no longer a spooky type of conversation. It's now becoming like a regular conversation about how to manifest, how to be intentional, how to take action to get what you want, how to be clear in what you want, why are you wanting, what is it serving for other people. And us understanding again that our gifts are never for ourselves, they're for the other people in the world. You'll understand how all of this stuff start to fit together, all of these pieces start to fit together. So I joined Legacy, went through the program, and it blew me away, because in the beginning, the program itself really turned the mirror back on you. It was never really about you trying to do something in the world, exclusive or outside of yourself. It turned the mirror back onto you for you to learn to be a great health coach, so that you can really bring the things that your client would need, you know what I mean, to be effective, to be intentional, to be actionable, to have a major result. It was that the program itself. So seeing that and experiencing that, I'm like, okay, this big step that I decided to take, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. I stepped out of this space of self-doubt, like nobody will listen to me if I don't have these credentials. I couldn't achieve what I really wanted to achieve, which was to really get out here and share my talents with the world. I really could do that from this defeat attitude, because somebody made a comment or they asked a question. Like, I became really defensive about a simple question that clearly was meant to happen, because had conversation ever occurred, I wouldn't have looked to find or even encounter Legacy, right? So this whole journey, just a question about me being able to share a message with the world, a question of credential led me to Legacy. And Legacy led me to these different explosive moments from then on, right? So as I mentioned before, Legacy was, I was originally looking at it like, okay, it's just another school to give me some papers and some letters to say I know how to do something. But it was so much more than that. It was so much more than that. So much more than that. Which led me to my part two, my second point, which was being bold and taking action for the vision that you wanted. The vision that you had before you even decided to seek out the different steps, or to map out the different steps for you to achieve those goals. There was some type of shift in your life that told you, okay, in this moment, first of all, you have to step up. You got to get over being scared. You got to let go of fear. You got to jump out there and see the abundance that's waiting for you. And then once you acquire that abundance, you need to be bold in continuing to build the steps that you need to bring this vision to fruition. So my vision for my company was, again, to reintroduce African Americans or African people or the descendants of the diaspora, reintroduce those people who were not familiar with herbs, who are not familiar with yoga, who were not familiar with journaling just your thoughts, who were not familiar with crystals, who were not familiar with chakras, who were not familiar with plant-based foods, because most of us grew up with the candy store down on the corner, with the liquor stores on the other corner, grocery stores 1,000 miles away, so you only getting what you really got access to in the immediate area. My idea, or the vision, the vision that came to me was, there has to be a way for people who look like me to really tap into this stuff that we have long forgotten. Some of our grandmothers still use herbs to this day. Like some of them still know about the dandelions in the backyard or the burdock root on the side of the house, things like that. My vision, the vision that came to me was, how can you reintroduce your community to this natural healing, to where we're not completely dependent upon doctors. We're not completely dependent on somebody else telling us what to do and not to do for our own health and wellness. Like, you can really be in control of your own health and wellness. But how? That was the question. How do I do it? Who do I turn to? Where do I get that information from? Where do they teach that at? That's what I learned, a lot of that in Legacy. How to package it so that I could really give a gift to my community. That was not a gift like, oh, I know this stuff, and it wasn't that. It was really just kind of reigniting what was already sitting in our soul somewhere. Yep. So I had to get over that fear, step up and be bold with what I had learned, and really figure out how to create programs and apply it, not only to the people who needed it, but to myself. Because that's really where it started from, like me learning how to heal myself. I got it. How do I show this to other people without them being offended? How do I show this to other people without coming off preachy or judgy or things like that? I had to figure that out. I had to be in a space with somebody who can teach you how to really meet somebody where they are. We don't really understand that, like, sometimes you can get it if you are dealing with somebody that you're in a relation with, like a family member or a spouse or something, a friend or something like that. But a complete stranger, learning how to come to where they are to help them, to elevate them, that's an art. It's definitely an art. But where do you learn it from? Especially as a wellness leader, where do you learn that? Where could you learn that from? You have to be in a space with other wellness leaders who have done it. Yes? Okay. So this brings me to my third point. Okay. My third point is, after learning what you need to know to really bring your vision to life, because I will go back to this point. Many of us have these thoughts of doing something. And sometimes the thought is so big, you start thinking to yourself, how in the world am I supposed to do that? It's not your business to figure out is it or how it's going to manifest. Your business is to map out what you can, what's on your level, map out what you can do with your gifts, your skills, and your abilities. Map those, using those that list of things in your toolbox. Map out how you can help to bring it to fruition. The things that you don't know how it's going to happen, or the places where it's supposed to take place, that's not your business to worry about. That's the universe. The universe, if God, the universe, the universal power, however you want to call this great power that animates us all, you're going to get divine alignment once you start to move in that vision, once you start to move in the purpose of that vision. Okay? So you don't have to worry about the bigger pieces of the puzzles. Worry about the small pieces first. Yes? Okay. So after learning how to take my baby steps to put together information that is user-friendly, beneficial, and helpful to my community as well as myself, now I'm thinking, how do I share this from a space of selflessness? How do I give this to my community, again, without being preachy, without being judgmental? It's a lot of people who will jump on a bandwagon of veganism. Yes? So we got that whole thing coming on right now. The bandwagon of veganism. And once they do a few days of not eating meat or animal products, they start to get really judgy, right? Like if you're still doing something that they feel like, oh, I gave that up, I don't do that no more. It's been 3 days. Chill out. Just relax. But there are so many people who are on a bandwagon, but they don't actually have the proper steps to sustain it. But you do. You know of simple processes, simple routines that somebody can use in their day-to-day lives that could help them to sustain a specific state of wellness as they move through their wellness journey. Okay? So that's you learning to give from a selfless space. Yes. But one thing that we have to learn with giving is you still have to have boundaries. Okay. You still have to have boundaries. Without boundaries, when I tell you, it can go awry from there. You'll end up burning yourself out with trying to help people heal, that you start to diminish your own level of healness, where you have, elevated yourself to. Okay. So learning to give from a selfless space, but also learning to have boundaries in that process is crucial. Okay. It's super important, super duper important. So legacy, how I ended up coming to legacy was for selfish reasons. I just wanted to be able to say, I got letters behind my name. Now you can listen to me. But the journey through legacy actually taught me to be way more selfless in my pursuits to heal people who needed it. And it caused me to be really gracious and patient with myself, because if most of us, we get a little annoyed at ourselves when we can't do something, or something is taking too long to happen, not understanding that everything that is happening to you is happening for a reason. Either there's a lesson in it, or it's a repeated lesson because you haven't learned it. I learned that the hard way too. But learning to be gracious with yourself as you go through your wellness journey, as you embark on your journey to be the leader of your tribe, the leader of your wellness, the leader of wellness in your family, just that beacon of wellness for somebody else who just maybe, a few steps behind you. That's another cool thing about being in the space of um being a helping hand. I want to say we always call it a leader, but being a helping hand, because at some point, just like us wellness leaders, health coaches who completed, Legacy Holistic Health Institute programs, we're now in alignment. We're walking side by side with other industry wellness leaders. So they're no longer like somebody is trying to pull you forward. However, with you, those who are just now, kind of getting this journey started, those who have maybe become stagnant because you let something in society kind of trip you up, something that you don't really need, that you start, it kind of capture your attention to do other things and kind of taking the attention off of your wellness. It's always important to really be in a space where you have partners, you have accountability partners, you have people who will definitely look out for you, people who are checking on you to say, hey, you good, I ain't seen you in a minute, everything good, we all need that. We definitely need that. And it's all a part of us building this amazing wellness tribe. This is how we're going to really affect the world. This is how we're going to share this message of healing. This is how we're going to positively impact the world to take back control of their health. And whether or not they decide to become a leader, just being in control of your own health and wellness is the first step. It really is. It really is. So thank you all so much for joining me. This again was day 2 of the Wellness Takeover hosted by Legacy Holistic Health Institute. I am Rachel Newsome, the founder of Crowns on Wellness. I am a certified herbalist. I am a certified health coach. I am a certified yoga instructor. And I love, love, love learning more and more about spiritual wellness, guidance and tips and tools and things like that. I'm super grateful to be a part of this community. And I hope that you all will definitely continue to leave your mark in this world, healing people, or helping people heal, because you really can't heal anybody. Helping people heal themselves, one person at a time, one tribe at a time. So that we can really make an amazing shift in the world. Okay, so thank you all. Let me see quick. Everybody jumped in. Marie, Shawana, yes, Charlene, hi, Melinda, yes, Nicole, Jerry, yes. So Jerry says, oh wow, the doctor became annoyed because you took control of your health and wellness. Yes, the doctor really did become annoyed by that. And I found that very strange, but I learned through, I was talking to Angela about it, and I'm like, why would a doctor feel that way? Like, why would they be annoyed at you, finding a way to heal yourself. Well, you're messing with money. And two, you challenge somebody who's been in the field for so long. You challenge what they know or what they told you. Just like me, I became a little offended. Like, how you challenge me when I know from experience what I know? Not knowing that I don't know everything, or not realizing I don't know everything. And it's okay not to know. Okay. I go and do your own research. Yes, Wanda said go into your own research. Definitely. Any information that you get, I don't care who the guru is, I don't care who the wellness leader is. Go and do your own research. It does not hurt to learn for yourself. You cannot take, one person's word or two people's word for the end all be all. I believe that as far as the doctors and other natural holistic, gurus, I don't take everybody's word is not bond. It's not the end all be all. There's always more to it. Okay? So research. Do your own research. She said, yes, most schools are more concerned with the numbers of students. Yes, Jerry, most schools are, yes, they were definitely just looking for a way to facilitate. That was it. But Legacy was way different than that. Legacy definitely, the purpose behind it, the vision behind it was really and truly create wellness leaders for every family. And even we didn't really know that up front, you got the point you got to. Sheila, hey Sheila, sharing that clarity. Yep. Jerron, thank you. Let's see, Marie, just do it. It will come. Absolutely, jump there. Jump up there. Jump there. Yeah, the boundaries are a huge piece when given. Great. A quote that says, "Give me to have boundaries because teachers are real." And I think you guys probably heard Dr. just say that a few times before. Having boundaries in place for anything. Anytime you are in a space where you know or have a little bit more and are willing to share, you definitely need to have boundaries. If not, you're gonna drain yourself dry, and then that defeats the point of being a well or a wealth of knowledge. Yes. Okay. Geneva, thanks for sharing. Absolutely. Thanks for jumping on. And people, I'm super duper excited. I hope the rest of your evening is phenomenal. And look out for day 3 of the Wellness Takeover by Legacy. If you are up, yes, definitely make sure that you bring it. Just drop some knowledge for Legacy Tribe here. Okay. So I really do appreciate you guys. I always have videos with Tuanane. Tuanane means see you later in Swahili.